the new government, the new centrist government has taken hold of the reins of power right now and is undoing the damage done by the far right government of Law and Justice. But the government, the old government of Law and Justice, which is now the opposition, has recently really doubled, tripled down on extremely wild rhetoric. They are making uh, more and more sort of big rallies at which the leader of the Law and Justice Party basically says that the new prime minister wants his word to be law, that he is Adolf Hitler. That is what the leader of the far right party said about the new prime minister. And that the new prime minister wants to turn Poland into a vassal state for the new emerging German Empire. You might have not heard about the new German Empire, but it's coming. The new German Empire is coming and it's planning to turn Poland into serfdom. I hope you're ready for this. I hope you're ready for the rebirth of the German Empire. And so he said that the new prime minister of Poland wants to eliminate the Polish nation to prepare it to become farmhands for Germany. And now the old prime minister has apparently also made some wild, wild statements, and we're gonna take a look at that. This is a Polish article, of course, because nobody cares about Polish affairs and nobody really translates the wild, wild nonsense that is being said on Polish by Polish politicians. But I've got your back. I've got your back, and I'm here to translate every single word said by the old prime minister. I've got you. My Polish skills, my Polish language skills are here to serve you. So, also don't worry about the artwork. I've been playing Cuphead today, so somebody decided that it is in order to give me this artwork because I die quite a lot. As it turns out, I'm not very good at Cuphead. So I received this. I will stop getting killed. I will stop getting killed. The truth is, I will not stop getting killed. That is an unfortunate reality of the situation. I will not stop getting killed in Cuphead. Okay, let's go. They cannot butcher us with a saw and make us take it and smile. That's basically, they cannot butcher us with a saw and expect us to smile. Morawiecki shouts in Legnica. And Mateusz Morawiecki is, well, it's actually all said in the article. The ex-prime minister Mateusz Morawiecki, in very harsh tone, commented on Saturday in Legnica, which is a place in Poland, the actions of the government of Donald Tusk, who is the current prime minister. And then it repeats, they cannot butcher us with a saw and expect us to smile. No, we need to scream that here in Poland, law is being broken. Screamed the the ex head of the government, which is extremely funny considering that the Law and Justice Party with this guy, together with this guy, they've done everything they could to erode the democracy as much as they could. It was a small miracle, actually, that the Law and Justice government could be even taken out of power. You all have to realize that it was a small miracle, in fact, that happened. And a lot of people said that would the Law and Justice Party have won the current election to the parliament, that would have been the last election because they just would have done away with democracy completely. And I tend to agree with this opinion. Fortunately, they failed, and now they are trying to frame the new government as the lawbreakers. Mateusz Morawiecki took part in a meeting of 3 polls organized by politicians of Law and Justice all over the country. After losing power at the end of 2023, the top sort of activists, the top people in the party are questioning the changes that made by Donald Tusk. Of course, they're gonna question the changes made by Donald Tusk. They are unmaking the damage that the Law and Justice Party has been doing for the last 8 years. So of course they're gonna question it. Of course they're not gonna like it. Like, that's a given. They're gonna hate it with all their might. Morawiecki has sort of hinted at his recent visit to Brussels, where he said that he has doubts about the legality of the changes of the current government. And this is the wildest thing, okay? This is the wildest thing. This was all done in the context of the meeting of the European Union leaders regarding the 50 billion euro aid for Ukraine. Okay, so the main thing was basically, the main concern was persuading Viktor Orban to lift his veto. And in the one corner, you had the current Prime Minister of Poland, who came for the meeting in the official capacity to be one of the people persuading Orban to lift the veto. And in the other corner, because crazy Polish politics must spill everywhere with its horribleness, in the other corner, you had the ex-Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki, who decided to go to Brussels and to cheer for Viktor Orban in his corner. In his little corner, he came to be a cheerleader supporter for Viktor Orban. That was his one purpose, I suppose. And the second purpose was to say that the current government is forcing illegal changes to the country. So those were the two big goals of the former Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki: to be Viktor Orban's cheerleader and to sort of cry about the new government being illegal. Morawiecki screams at the meeting, "They cannot screw us." The truth is that 3.5 months ago, most of them were there in Brussels. Oh, the truth is that 3.5 months ago, the whole lot of them in Brussels were probably happy about that change. But they cannot fathom in their heads how you can, through the same, which is the parliament, change the order of the government and order of the constitution. How can you shorten the term of institutions which the terms are guaranteed? How can you enter the presidential palace and break all good convention. So, context here. Two members of the parliament were basically accused and charged for crimes. That was many years ago. They were charged with crimes. And the current president was already president back then, and he decided to pardon them both. But he made a fatal and pretty basic mistake by pardoning them before the sentence was even given by the court, which meant that his pardon was invalid. And so, and they did commit the crimes. I'm just gonna put it out there. These two members of the parliament did commit the crimes that they were sort of charged with when they were part of the Anti-Corruption Commission. They actually did some heinous things. So they were sentenced finally to 2 years because the presidential pardoning was not in effect. And so now that the new government came into power and the old government was not there to defend the two criminal parliament members, they decided to hide in the presidential palace, hoping that the law would not reach them there. But they were a bit mistaken, and the police just came to the presidential palace and arrested them. This is basically what happened. And this is what the old prime minister is referencing to when he said, how can you enter with your dirty shoes into the presidential palace, breaking all good sort of manners? I don't know. All sort of tradition or some. I asked Morawiecki, I guess sarcastically or rhetorically. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to use the word screw. Ladies and gentlemen, they cannot screw us with a saw and expect us to smile. No, we must scream that here in Poland law is being broken and that the constitution is being disregarded on a very basic level. And I ask you all, talk about it in the media, wherever you are. Screamed the prime minister, the former prime minister from a scene in Legnica. Oh, he had more to say. Morawiecki stated that the new Minister of Education, Barbara Nowacka, is behaving like a weak teacher. It is in this way that he has commented the big changes in education, which also would include not giving homework to students anymore, because it seems like it seems like studies are out and that homework is actually not as effective in helping in education as was sort of as everybody just assumed till now. So the new Minister of Education, wants to do away with homework, which, okay, if that works, that works. I don't have a problem with it. But the old former prime minister has decided that means that the Minister of Education is acting like a weak teacher. What do you mean, liquidate homework? The Atom program. Is this what the new government is starting its reign from? Is this the government of liquidation. What is happening right now is an attack on human rights. They accused us of breaking human rights and the rule of law. But in any situation, there was legislation. But this government is not making legislation, said the former prime minister. And again, one of the reasons why the new government is actually trying to bypass legislation is what I mentioned earlier, that the new president has decided to throw a wrench into legislation by sending all of legislation into the Constitutional Committee. You know, that this is a very complicated situation that is happening right now in Poland, all things considered. Like the old government, the old far-right government has managed to do quite a lot of damage during its 8-year tenure here in the country. So now, the new government has found itself in a pretty difficult sort of position in which, in order to be able to fulfill the promises of their campaign, they will need to first undo the damage to democracy that has been done during those last 8 years. And it's not gonna be easy. We'll see if we will get our civil union for gay people or not. Like, ideally, we would just get gay marriage and adoption, but it's Poland, so I wouldn't hold my breath for that. So what do you think? What do you think of this? Oh yeah, that's a whole other topic.